Hi everyone, this is Lincoln with the University of Kentucky again, and in this video I want to go over the choices of technologies you have to choose from and some advice on how to achieve the optimal setup for online debate competition. So the first thing I want to cover is internet connection. This is by far the most important thing that'll impact your online tournament experience. There are a couple rules of thumb. 1. If possible, competing at a school will provide a better connection than competing at home. This requires coordination in advance and making sure you follow all health and safety guidelines set down by government officials and your school. 2. Connecting your computer via Ethernet is better than relying on wireless. This is an Ethernet cord. Your laptop likely does not come built in with a port for this, so it's likely you would need an adapter that looks like this. This is where you would plug in an Ethernet cord into a typical home router. If the plan is to debate from your home, I strongly advise getting set up to connect via Ethernet. 3. If Ethernet is not an option, it's important to minimize the obstacles between you and your router. You should be as close to it as you can. You should also minimize the objects between you and your router. This may take some reconfiguring of items in your home for the weekend, but will vastly improve your connection compared to debating in your room and your router is downstairs with many large pieces of furniture obstructing it. The second thing I want to cover is other technology. What I'm referring to is mainly your camera and your microphone. The main thing you have to do is practice with what you have first. Some of the equipment that comes with a laptop doesn't work with Zoom for some reason. My laptop webcam, for instance, was like that, and it required me to find an external webcam. Some microphones create a lot of feedback. And there are a wide range of options all across the price spectrum for webcams and microphones. After testing a lot, they all perform roughly the same. Some are obviously a bit better than others, but they don't add that much beyond being good enough for the competition. The other thing you have to consider with technology is how it will be set up when you speak, and how it will be set up otherwise. This is why a lot of people are opting for headsets. It's easy to keep track of the microphone, and even if you move around, it'll capture your audio all the same. Again, this is mainly a question of picking a setup and practicing it in advance. The next thing I'd like to cover is the digital bus, which is a shorthand for setting a designated time prior to the first pairings release of the day to confirm that all judges and participants are at their computer and ready to participate in a given round. To execute the digital bus correctly, you will need to have a means of team communication, which is the next thing I would like to cover. Some squads may opt to locate in a shared space and compete while maintaining social distance. They may use a hallway of classrooms in their school, for example. This would facilitate team communication similar to an in-person tournament. Some squads will compete remotely, as in everyone will compete in a different location, most likely their homes. In these situations, we suggest using tools like Slack. You can find a new user's guide at this address. Another good platform for inter-team communication is Discord. Here's a good beginner's video to get up to speed on Discord. Now I would like to review some issues that come up during a round. First, you should mute your microphone if you're not an active speaker. Second, you should keep your camera on during a round if you're a participant or a judge. You should try to minimize things in your background that are overly distracting or loud. You should generally have a neutral background. Third, you need to have identifying information in your Zoom name. Judge, participant, observer, or tab should be the start of your Zoom name depending on your role. This lets people see who is present at a glance by viewing the participant list in Zoom. Fourth, you need to have a way to communicate with your partner as necessary in public forum or policy debate. The best way is to have a phone call that you mute and you unmute. This is optimal because you don't want to tax your internet more by having separate video calls going. The final thing I want to talk about is what to do in the event you're having trouble maintaining a connection to a room. You can follow these steps. First, it's likely that your internet connection is the issue and you need to strengthen it via the tips earlier in this video. Second, if you are on the web page of classrooms.cloud, you should try joining the room via the Zoom app if that is an option. Third, you should clear the caches and cookies and or use incognito mode in Google Chrome to join the room. And lastly, in the event of extreme tech failure, you can use a phone to call into the Zoom meeting via the meeting ID. That's all for now. If you follow these suggestions, you should minimize your exposure to tech failure and can focus on the debating. Thanks for watching.